very prophetic dream the other night, and the urgency in it is something that I feel I need to share with you and something to dive into over the next few weeks for your own mental sanity and your own emotional well-being. So let me explain. But first, if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, especially if you're an empath and you're interested in elevating your mind, body, and your spirit and feel good while doing it, I would appreciate that. Now, I dream every night. I have very vivid dream life. I always have, but I don't have these types of prophetic or maybe precognizant dreams often, and this one felt very important. In this dream, it was like being in a parallel dimension, and what I mean by that is that like everything kind of looks the same, like a mirror of this reality, but just slightly different. So in this dream, it was very clear that the external world, the external reality that you sense with your physical eyes is being shifted, almost like words are being redefined right now. The external reality is also being recoded. Now, as sovereign beings, we can code our own reality, but in this dream, there was somebody else doing the recoding. There was somebody else outside of you or outside of me, a stranger to you, trying to manipulate and insert specific types of coding that they wanted, not necessarily what you would want for yourself. And some folks could see it while others couldn't. The recoding was being done both internally by what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you're feeling, but it was also being recoded externally by people who want to influence or control what you think, what you believe, what you feel. So you have to know the difference between the two, which is using your discernment. In this dream, I was outside and I noticed that a building that I had seen a million times that has been there forever was a different color. It was clear as day to me. The building used to be yellow and now it was green. And other folks could not see that. They did not see that. It still looked yellow to them. And I did this thing with my foot where I stomped on the ground and I like twisted my foot a little bit, almost like if you were like stomping on a bug or something, like you're trying to grind something. And when I did that, a small round disc, kind of like the size of like a Play-Doh lid, appeared. And this small disc, if you stepped on it like a few times, it grew to be the size of a Frisbee so that you could put your entire foot on it. And when you stood on that foot, when you stood on that disc, it would allow you to levitate and fly. So in this dream, I stepped on this Frisbee and I levitated into the air, and people did not like that. People thought it was very scary. It was very intimidating to them, even though it felt amazing to me. Anyway, I end up in this huge factory, this huge building, very cavernous, an old industrial building, and it was kind of empty. And I'd gone to the top floors where there was a room with all of these people with headsets and these screens, and they were called the controllers. And they were almost mesmerized by their screens, just like chugging cold, burnt coffee underneath these bright lights and just making these moment to moment, like milli calculations and corrections. And I didn't understand everything that I saw, but their job was monitoring people and specifically inserting events into the public to keep you in a state of agitation and a flustered state so that you would lose your cool, so that you would be more angry and scared. It felt very like Wizard of Oz, like look at the man behind the curtain type feeling. And suddenly they noticed I was there. They noticed I was in the room and I was not supposed to be there because it's kind of a top secret room. And they started chasing me, and I was able to escape through this window on this high floor because I had my little levitation Frisbee. So I jumped on my Frisbee and I left. But they were very angry that I had seen behind the curtain and what they were doing, and they did not want me to tell people what they were doing. And in this dream, it felt very prophetic, and in a sense, a part of me was like remote viewing what was happening on the planet, what is happening on the planet on a certain level. And if you've been paying attention the last few years, you're aware that there has been a significant level of deceit and manipulation that has been going on for a very, very long time. We know what is presented on the main social channels is not actually the truth. And the point of this message is to bring attention to this time between March 3rd, 3/3, and the Spring Equinox. This is a very important portal of time for you to observe your beliefs and realign with the things that are meaningful and true for you. What is true for you is not true for another person. Every person has their own truth. That is part of why we are here as humans, as beings of light in physical form. This couple weeks window between 3/3 and the spring equinox is an important time for you to reevaluate and realign with what is true for you so that you can see with more clarity and choose with more clarity what you want to be, how you want to think, how you want to feel, because all of that is within your control. And really own that. Really take back your power in that respect. And this is an important window energetically for that to happen. So do your meditations, reconnect with nature, breathe deeply, practice giving your nervous system and your mind a little more space just to be the observer of what's going on internally. This is the time to go deeper and get more clear about that. So when you see crazy things happening in the world, do not consent to fear. Don't consent to fear. Reconnect with the light within and realize that ultimately you are love and you get to embody that every day. Decide on and care about the way you feel, because that is truly, truly where your power lies. Don't forget to subscribe, to share it with a friend who might need this message of self-care right now. So thank you, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next video.